The technical difficulties encountered in building The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine DLC shown at GDC. So, hey, this is Keywielder Oblivion. I want you guys to get some info and background on what was shown off at GDC based on the CD Projekt Red developers and stuff like that. So what they showed off was all the things and struggles they went through while building this world. And before I really get into the depth of what they were talking about, I want to tell you, I'll leave the link where this video, or a link to the GDC YouTube channel, because this is where I found the video. Okay, guys. So here you see Geralt walking around in like the Beauclair, right, in the Witcher DLC, but it's not as finished. So they're showing us the work in progress up until the point that we receive the Witcher 3 DLC, which is Blood and Wine. So if you haven't played it, it's really good. And I have to add that the Witcher 3 DLC Blood and Wine got the award for best RPG, and it was not even a game. It was a DLC, and this is how you should do DLCs. So I want to explain that this is what I expected. I enjoyed watching this video. It's about an hour long or something like that, of them explaining all their technical difficulties of what they wanted to do. And I have some crazy things at the end of this video that I want to say. So also, if you watch that first, then come over here to watch this video, that's also a good way, because you want to hear what I have to say about this after the fact, instead of hearing what I have to say then going over to watching what they do. So anyway, basically what they've been, I have a few timestamps on my books written down that I'll leave in the description also as a link. So what the main thing this guy here was talking about was the landmarks, and how they tried, their first priority was trying to make navigation a big easy thing to do while in Beauclair. Beauclair, it's the city in Toussaint. I don't know how to pronounce it well. So yeah, that was the first thing they wanted to do. They actually made it even better navigating this city than what they did in Novigrad. So they kept learning while they were trying to build this stuff, and that's what I love about CD Projekt Red. They really go into what they want to do. So I'll leave some footage in my video, some parts, while I'm not talking, so you can hear a little bit of what they have to say. And it was a really good presentation. So with they were talking about the landmarks, how they tried to make landmarks easy for the person to navigate while they were in the city, because the city is huge. It's going to be filled with a lot of things. And then another thing they talked about that was a difficulty was the line of sight, because you know the technical hardware on the PS4 and Xbox One at this time, when The Witcher 3 and the DLCs came out, you know, the hardware wasn't the best, so they had to hide different things. And one of those things they talked about was the popping textures, the popping of buildings and of people and stuff like that.
To support that landmark navigation part, in here you can see the Gargoyle Mountain in the back. Here we're by the lake, and we still can see the Gargoyle Mountain, but also you can see the palace over there. So going that, you know, you're going to the north part of the town or to the palace, one of the most important locations in our game. Different location, different spot in the town, still palace is super easy spot for the player. So he's got this different you know, signs basically where you want to go and which way he should go.
So with a huge city like this and a huge world like this, they had to work around that, and that's what you see here, him trying to explain, like they wanted to have landmarks peeking out, but at the same time they didn't want to have too much shown. So that's why many of the buildings were tightly packed and stuff like that, to cut off your line of sight, so that when you go around the next corner, everything will be perfectly loaded in. However, you don't need to go around the next corner to see the landmarks to know where you're going. And that's a big thing that made the traversing through any place in The Witcher 3, but especially Beauclair, the city in Toussaint, very awesome. And I love just hearing all the good stuff they had to talk about and the technical stuff, because we all go through like a phase where we're expecting a game for years to come out and we want to know what point in development they're at. So this is really good because after everything's out and stuff, they could show us their hardships working up till the point of release and stuff like that. And that's why I like watching these videos. It gives me that insight. So if you're a real big fan of The Witcher 3, go watch the GDC press conferences. Go watch the stuff for whatever game you have, because they have content on different games and stuff like that. This is where the developers come. It's a developers conference and they show off all the big stuff that they worked on and the hardships they went through. um Also, so they try to minimize the pop-ins. They try different ways to trick and get around the technical limitations. So I have something in my book written. If you go over to their video, there's another timestamp at 22 minutes 15 seconds. There's a difference in the map and ease of traversing. I'm actually have a picture of that right here also, because this is really cool. The way they had the map from the first concept to what they had later on into the development, and then what we actually finally got to see. I would hate trying to traverse that first map right there, because if you see the point A to point C or whatever, I don't have the map right now for me, but I will have it for y'all.
But right now you got really cool view and you got highway to harbor. And it was kind of, it was a risky decision because it kind of cost us some time to do that, but still it was totally worth it. Because right now it's much easier to get to the different parts of town and faster. So all those things we did led us for this blockout. For this layout basically. This is the final layout in a game we're going to play. So the old one versus the new one. On your left, you're going to see the old one, which was very simple, probably not that exciting. But the one on the right, probably going to get some much more fun there, more options. But still, if
it was like point A to point C, there was a red line, and the guy said, this is how you would have had to get from this point to this point. And then I was like, whoa, what? And then they had to like make different pathways and stuff like that to make the traverse of the city even better. Because I love this city. That was one thing. This is why the whole reason why I'm watching it, because I love the city even more than Novigrad. When I first visited Novigrad, I loved it, but I thought no other thing in any game could top it better. But Beauclair was really well done. And they also talked about the main square and stuff like that in
some fun. But we also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had this and 7 houses, and those houses were with interiors. Later on, I will explain you why that is crucial information for us at this point. But still, we got 7 houses with interiors, full decoration interiors. And the green spot basically is City Hall. Cloth Hall. This is actually the solution we used for this yellow area here, which was super demanding. And Cloth Hall is this visual blocker that we create to cut off the main square from the other parts of the town, just to make it possible for the engine to stream all those different things into the memory, because it's a lot of things. And it actually worked, because we figured we ended up with really cool location, really cool place, but still you cannot see anything before going to the main square, so the engine can get the time to stream all those things into the memory. And once you're going to go around the small wall, you're in the market square, which is ready to go, ready to play.
Clear, where there were some buildings that were they had the insides of the buildings, and then there was like a little point of lock off. I'm gonna leave some open clips for you guys to see, and this is why it was awesome. And so at 9:02, 9 minutes 2 seconds, you will see him talking about landmarks and stuff like that, navigation and stuff like that. And then at 22 minutes and 15 seconds, he will talk about the different map sizes and how the map changed to make it easier for the player to traverse. And then at 45 minutes 55 seconds is a whole summary of what he just went over, and it's really helpful to like just instill in grain all that information into your brain. And it's just awesome seeing like one of your best developers, CD Projekt Red, talking about their one of your best games that you've ever played, and it's really awesome. One thing I want to add on to this video that's purely my own was that it sucks the way that they went through all of this much trouble making navigation so much easier for us, yet while I was playing the game I never appreciated it. And I know that everyone who played the game did not get a chance to appreciate it. This is the reason why we did not get a chance to appreciate it. Yes, I did say I loved the city and everything like that, but we didn't appreciate it to the extent that I think they wanted us. Because like when you go into your map, right, you could just put waypoints down on your map and then just follow the dot straight to where you want to go. And then you didn't take in, oh, the landmark is over there, that's where I want to go, let me go. Like you didn't do it like how you would in real life. Instead, you did it like how you would in a game. You just got out your GPS and then you just followed it straight there without even looking around. Of course, after the game is done, you look around and stuff like that, but yet you don't do it to the extent that I think they would have expected us to do. So that's the only downside. They went through all of this trying to make traversal easy through the city, but yet I don't think everyone appreciated it for what it was.
The other thing that helped us a lot was the thing that the town itself was on a slope. So basically the player could learn very easily and very fast that the higher he goes, the more rich parts of the town he's going to explore. And this, in our case, the Elven Palace is got different architecture type because it's Elven Palace, right? So the higher the player goes, the different districts he will explore, and the Elven Palace on the top, kind of lower we got the rich part of the town, even lower we got the poor part of the town, and on the bottom of the slope we got the harbor. But also what we did, we introduced in-city landmarks itself. We used the palace again, but still we use it even more. We wanted the player to be actually kind of, seeing the palace all the time. Also, we went with City Hall. At the beginning, we knew we were going to have City Hall in our town, but still we made it kind of bigger, taller, so it's actually going to serve as a landmark. And we got Temple.
And that's all I have to say. This is Keywheeler Oblivion. I just want to bring some new Witcher content to my channel. I know I did a theory on Ciri and her death very recently, so go watch that video. I'll have it at the back of this video, maybe a link in the description hopefully. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because I do theories and news about games like The Witcher 3 and Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. So if you want to get up to date with all that stuff, leave a sub at this channel and go check out the GCD channel over there. This was 2017 GDC. Also, leave a comment on what you liked about what this dude talks about, because like I'm sure I'm not the only one that enjoyed The Witcher 3 a lot. So leave a comment after you watch their original video. Come back to my video, leave a comment on what you thought, what was more interesting to you, because they talked about a whole lot of things. They talked about the buildings and how if you're this distance away from a building, this part of the building wouldn't load in, and if you're even further, then another part of the building won't load in, and that's how they got to make the city look beautiful while keeping the quality up the entire time. So they talked about so much stuff. So leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.